Game sweep here of the Athletics. First pitch of the ball game to Cabrera. Misses outside, 1-0. Kennedy and then Cuss to follow. Tigers come into play at 19-16 today. Galarraga's 1-0. 2-0 on Orlando Cabrera.
And 7th consecutive start for Cabrera in that leadoff spot, and he's been scuffling. As you can see, he does not have a hit in this series.
0 for 8. And batting .223, hasn't homered this year, and he has 10 RBIs.
For the most part, Tigers pitching has shut down all of the Oakland Athletics batters.
The 2-1. Well, big start, would you say, for Galarraga after having a couple of bumps in the road?
I think so. After winning 13 games last year and then coming out first 3 games of the year just looking like he hadn't missed a beat from 2008, and then really struggling the last 3 times out there.
Larish handles that ground ball at third and throws him out.
Overall numbers for Galarraga this year, making his 8th start, comes in with a .500 record. Earned run average has taken a hike in his last 3 starts. He's given up quite a few runs. He's also walked a few. 20 walks this year for Galarraga in 41 innings. It's tough to win and pitch that way.
Here's Adam Kennedy. A couple of changes defensively for the Tigers today. Inge gets a day off, so does Polanco. And of course, the first ball finds Jeff Larish down at third. He handled it nicely.
And Jim likes to do that with his regulars on occasion. Of course, with an afternoon game today, the entire ball club is off tomorrow, which means Polanco and Inge really get a couple of days to recharge their batteries.
2-1 on Adam Kennedy, batting in the 2 slot in this one.
You know, it's tough to sit Polanco against the Oakland Athletics because he has tremendous numbers against them.
That is true. But you've got to think long range, big picture, and that's what Leland is doing. The 2-1 pitch. Kennedy's had a couple of hits in the series. He's also stolen a base. Released by the Cardinals, picked up by Tampa, and now here in Oakland. There's a strike in the outside corner, 3-2.
And Jim has held true to his word at what he told us before the year started in Toronto, that he's really going to watch Polanco close this year, Maglio. He's going to give them some days off on occasion.
High towering drive right field. That ball is way back. It is hooking, and that ball is gone. It's a home run. Kennedy with a towering drive down the right field line. And the Athletics take a quick 1-0 lead.
And Kennedy's got that classic uppercut swing. And earlier in his career, he hit quite a few home runs. The last couple of years has not hit as many. But that ball kind of got up there in that jet stream that's blowing out to right field today and barely got out.
Right off the top of the wall as Clee Thomas went back as far as he could. And there it is. That thing wasn't fair by much. 1-0 Athletics. First home run of the year for Kennedy. Wave and a miss by Cust. 1 ball, 1 strike. That is the first lead that the Athletics have had in this series. And it's a team that doesn't hit too many home runs, that's for sure. Don't run a whole lot. Haven't hit with power.
That'll put a smile on the manager Bob Guerin's face. He has not had a whole lot to smile about in this series so far.
That is just the 20th home run the Athletics have hit this year, which ties them with San Francisco for the fewest in the major leagues. The 2-1. 3-1, and Galarraga again early in this game falling behind hitters. He has fallen behind all 3 that he has faced so far. Cust, of course, is a guy that will take his walk. He has walked over 100 times in each of the last 2 seasons. The 3-1 pitch. And there's another walk, ball 4.
Here's what we touched on briefly at the top of the show, the fact that his first 4 starts of the year, it looked like he was going to pitch to the All-Star game, maybe a Cy Young. the way that he was pitching. The opponent's batting average was .218. All the other numbers are tremendous, but you look at his last three, he has struggled a little bit.
Here is Matt Holliday. Ball one.
Yeah, but if there's anyone that can get him back on track, we know Rick Knapp can do it. His first 6 weeks on the job have been really good at getting Tigers pitchers, all of them, to throw strikes.
Ground ball, base hit right field off the end of the bat. It'll go the other way, and Cuss will go to second.
Well, we talked about it in the pitching profile regarding Galarraga today, to limit the damage early. He's had a tough time getting out in the first inning lately. A little slider that kind of flattens out. That's the one pitch we'll watch for today, because when he has that good slider, he's got his arm up in a real nice slot, which gives him downward tilt when the ball gets in the strike zone. But a lot of his sliders lately have flattened out for whatever reason, not moving nearly as much as they did early in the year, and of course last year when he just dominated right-handed hitters.
Here is Jason Giambi, the DH, with 2 men on. And Giambi so far has been pretty much a non-factor in this series. 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. Batting .202. In fact, all 3 of his home runs this year have come against left-handed pitching. Galarraga needs a ground ball here. Instead, it's a line drive into right. It's a base hit. Coming over to play it is Thomas. They're going to hold the runner at third base as Cleat fires it back in. And the A's now have loaded the bases.
It's a fastball down, but Giambi goes down to get it. Most left-handers like the ball that's down and in, and that's their happy zone. I thought Santiago, second baseman, coming in to settle down Galarraga a little bit.
Ramon, the utility player, getting the start at second base today for Polanco. And now here is Sweeney. Strike one in the outside corner. Sweeney's had good numbers against Galarraga, good numbers with the bases loaded career, but against Galarraga, 4 for 6. Armando's 0-1 pitch. Now it's 0-2. 1-0 on the Kennedy home run. A quick start today for the Athletics, who have pretty much been throttled by Tigers pitching in this series.
It's tough to sweep teams in the big leagues. Even though Oakland not playing good baseball defensively, offensively they've been handcuffed, and the Tigers have beat up on their pitching in the first 2 games of this series. It is really tough to sweep big league ball clubs.
The 0-2 lifted in the air toward left. Anderson measures it. Cust will tag. Catch is made, and Cust will come in from third base and score. Sac fly, RBI for Ryan Sweeney, and it's 2-0 Oakland. That is the 9th RBI of the year for Sweeney. So the A's off to a high 5 start today. That'll bring up Bobby Crosby. With runners at first and second and 2 gone. Crosby batting in the 7 slot in this game. And Armando deals a strike on the inside corner. They have Crosby playing first base today. We told you a couple of nights ago that he's pretty much their super utility man now. Former Rookie of the Year in the American League. But he has played short, he has played third, he has played first. One ball and 1 strike.
And Galarraga's got some decent movement with the breaking ball today. However, not locating it where Laird is calling for it. Those first 2 pitches to Crosby, both breaking balls, but both stayed on the inner half of the plate. When Galarraga throws a slider, he wants it to get it away from the right-handed hitters. So the movement's there, but the location not quite where they wanted early in this game.
2-1. Well, as a result of falling behind just about every hitter in this inning, he is in the mid-20s in pitches thrown already, 26. Crosby 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in this 4-game set. The 2-1. 2-2. Bobby Crosby's father, Ed, played in the big leagues. And not only a big league player, but a big league scout. In fact, he was the scout that signed Jason Giambi, his current teammate.
It's a good sign.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul, third base side.
Well, didn't Crosby and Giambi go to the same college? Didn't they both go to Long Beach?
They did.
Dirtbags?
Yep, they did. In fact, Crosby also played high school ball with today's catcher Gerald Laird.
How about that?
So, I mean, these guys hook up and their paths cross in their careers. There's Laird, who went to high school at Westminster, in Westminster, California, La Quinta High School, where Bobby Crosby also played, and those two guys were on the same team.
La Quinta, that sounds like a country club. I bet that's a nice high school.
More than a high school? Yeah, it probably is.
La Quinta.
Two and two. And another foul. So Galarraga's pitch count really starting to elevate now here. He's having trouble getting out of this first inning, and that is 30 pitches now for Armando.
Tigers bullpen in pretty good shape. And just about everybody down there can be used. Hopefully Galarraga rights the ship here this afternoon, where he's been tremendous pitching in day baseball.
And he missed. 3-2 on Crosby.
Don't know what Galarraga will do here as we get a look at this very close. A pitch that appeared to be down and away, I guess. But if Galarraga's feeling halfway decent, more than likely he'll throw a breaking ball here. And if he locates it, he can get himself a strikeout and get out of this inning.
And he lost in ball 4. That's going to load the bases, and that's probably going to bring a visit out to the mound.
Well, the last time Galarraga was on the mound in Minnesota, a team he has a lot of trouble against. And Jim Leland made an early trip out to the mound to visit with Galarraga. And as a matter of fact, he told the catcher and Gerald Laird, "You stay back there. This is between me and Galarraga." And after that little meeting they had, Galarraga settled in, but it was a little too late.
Well, no visit this time. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Landon Powell. And he drives one to the gap in right center field. This is big time trouble. It'll go all the way to the wall, and they'll more than likely get 3 runs in here. Powell will go to second base. It is a 3-run double for the Oakland catcher.
Well, Powell does not get a chance to play a whole lot because Suzuki catches just about every single day. But he knew he was going to get a fastball right down the middle because of the wildness this afternoon of Galarraga. And he was not waiting around. He punished it. Galarraga, when he's effective, this ball is down in the strike zone. You can see it's pretty much straight, and it was headed toward the catcher's glove, but when they're that straight and right down the middle, they don't make it to the catcher's glove.
5-0 Athletics. And here is the 9th man to bat in the inning, Jack Hanahan.
So much for limiting the damage early.
Well, Zach Miner now starting to warm up in the bullpen. And Armando desperately trying to get out of this first inning. The 0-1. And there's no doubt about it that regardless of how well Galarraga pitches the rest of the way, the Tigers will have to dip into that bullpen today. Miner tuning up. 0-2 on Hanahan. 5 runs on 4 hits in this inning for the Athletics. Hanahan batting just $154. Here's the 0-2. Hanahan spent 6.5 years in the Tigers organization and made it with the big club very briefly. Played in 3 games with Detroit a couple of years ago before joining the Athletics. Lifted foul, back out of play. Well, Galarraga in his last 3 starts had given up 5 runs, 6 runs, and 5 runs. And already 5 in the first here today for Oakland. This after a sparkling month of April. Did he hold up? He appeared to, and he did. Phil Cuzzy down at third today. One and two on Hanahan. 9 men to the plate. Kennedy started this off with a home run. And it's been downhill since then. We've had a couple of walks. Bases loaded double. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And his next pitch will be his 40th. And it's low. 3-2 now on Hanahan. Well, Galarraga right now teetering on the brink. If he loses Hanahan here, I don't think Jim Leland can stick around in that dugout any longer. Top of the order, Cabrera waiting on deck. He started the game with a ground out. 3-2 pitch. He lost it. Ball 4, and that's going to put 2 men on. It's going to bring the skipper out, and that appears to be it for Galarraga. It is. He will not survive the first inning today as he walks 3. So Armando, who had been sparkling during day games with an ERA of under 1, will give up the baseball. So it's a wall-side windows pitching change. Tigers go to the pen early today. We'll be back. Two batters. He goes 2/3. He is still responsible for the 2 men on the bases, and right now 5 runs given up. And here is Zach Minor, the new pitcher.
Well, Minor has been stretched out this year. He was in the starting rotation at the beginning of the season and just taken out when Dontrell Willis was activated. And really all Zach needs to do is limit the damage. Limit the damage and allow your offense to kind of peck away in this game. A lot of baseball to be played. Tigers have already scored, what, 23 runs in this series?
Yeah, on 27 hits. So, you know, their offense should be in decent shape today.
Stick around.
There's a ball down low to Orlando Cabrera, who is 0 for 1. Started the game with a ground out.
Cabrera's got a lot of pine tar on that helmet, doesn't he?
It's been through the wars.
I guess that's where he gets it from. After every pitch, he kind of puts both hands up there to reload, so to speak.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Fix the gloves, tap the cap, reload, get a little pine tar. How much pine tar do you need?
I don't know. I mean, you might as well bring the pine tar rag up to the plate with you. He's got so much on his hat. And the bat is slathered in pine tar as well. That's the other way, foul just outside of the bag. 1-2 on Cabrera.
Cabrera himself has not gotten on track. We've talked about a lot of the veteran players that Oakland has. Giambi, Cabrera, Holiday, Garcia Parra on the disabled list. They really have not gotten going yet, but they're all quality big league players. And before it's all said and done, we'll put up some type of numbers.
Good pitch, a breaking ball to get him swinging. Cabrera is out, so are the Athletics, but they have a big first inning. They jump out to a 5-0 lead. Have the lineup to get them back. Some changes in the starting 9 today for the Tigers. Looks like this. Curtis Granderson leads it off in center field. Josh Anderson is in left. Clete Thomas in right. Cabrera is at first cleaning up. Maglio is the DH. Larish at third. Laird, Santiago, and Everett rounded out the Tigers offense in this series with 13 extra base hits. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Trevor Cahill of the Oakland Athletics. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Jim Leland will run a few left-handers up there this afternoon against Cahill because he struggles against left-handed batters to the tune of a .328 batting average. And he's given up 6 home runs this year, all to left-handers. But on the flip side of that, in 6 of his 7 starts, 2 runs or less.
Well, 5 runs already for the A's on the scoreboard, and the Tigers will have to try and start chipping away at that now as Granderson leads it off. And Curtis 2 for 9 in the series, batting .255.
And Cahill probably their top prospect coming out of the minor leagues. 2nd round draft choice just a couple of years ago in 2006. And the last 2 years, their minor league pitcher of the year.
Well, if you look at the future for this Oakland team, they're certainly building a pretty good stable of pitchers. Cahill, we saw Brett Anderson the other night. Gonzalez is on the horizon as well. The 3-1 is up high, ball 4. That's a good start.
Let's take a look at the Oakland Athletics defensively this afternoon behind Cahill. Holiday, Sweeney, Cust. Cust getting a rare start in the outfield. He is using the DH. Hanahan, Cabrera, Kennedy, Crosby in the infield. Landon Powell behind the plate. Suzuki, their everyday catcher, getting the afternoon off after a couple of night games here at Comerica Park.
Here's Josh Anderson. First pitch on the ground is short. Might be two. Cabrera. Here's the relay. Not in time. Cabrera didn't get it out of the glove cleanly.
And if you do not get it out of the glove cleanly, and with Anderson running down the line, it's going to be impossible to turn two. Appeared to be a tailor-made double play. Just that little bit of hesitation allows Anderson to take a couple of more steps, which is the difference in him being safe versus being out.
Cabrera is a two-time Gold Glove winner, but aside from that one play he made last night when he shoveled the ball to second base, he has played hot potato with a few ground balls in this series. Here's Clete Thomas.
Yeah, last 3 years, and all 3 of those years he was playing for the Chicago White Sox. No shortstop in the American League had a better fielding percentage than Cabrera. And so for him to struggle out there is not something that you see every day.
They're going to keep a close eye on Anderson, who has 6 steals in 7 tries.
And Landon Powell, who's catching today, went out there to tell Cahill, don't worry about him. Now, you got a 5-run lead. It's the first inning. If he steals, he steals. But you better be concentrating on this guy standing in the batter's box, Clete Thomas. And because he's hitting .341 and peppering the baseball all around the baseball field.
Clete looks at a strike, 0-1.
They don't know a whole lot about Cahill, but what we've heard, he throws a lot of ground balls. In 5 of his 7 starts, the majority of his outs have come via the ground ball. Real good sinker ball.
There goes the runner. Shattered bat. They will get 1 out at second, and again Cabrera just can't hang on to it. Anderson is out at second base. Just not quite leaving yet, but he'll be told he's out.
That was a gutsy play there by Cahill with Anderson running. It was a bang-bang play at second base. Anderson running on the play. Cahill, he did not hesitate. He came up and fired the ball, and he was almost safe.
Oh, that was close.
Whew.
He was safe.
Maybe that's why he hung around the bag a little longer than you usually do when you're called out.
Well, Thomas is on with fielder's choice. Leland having a little chat with Anderson. Ground ball hit to third, deep behind the bag. Hanahan with a long throw in time to retire the side. So the Tigers get a leadoff walk. Failed to score. Will go to the second here at Comerica Park. 5-0 Oakland. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, player's uniform number to 74499, and you can see the final results post game during Tigers Live. And here we go now to the second inning in a 5-0 game. Brandon Inge is not playing in this game. Is he eligible? Because he seems to lead and win every night.
I'm sure somehow he'll get a few votes.
You never know. Brandon might be into this game, so we'll just have to wait and see. 5-0 Athletics. Miner came on to get the final out of the first inning, and Kennedy will lead things off. He started that big inning with a home run for the Athletics. There's that big uppercut swing, 0-2.
It's all about damage control now for Miner. And just put up a few zeros and allow your offense to try to figure Cahill out, who is starting for Oakland this afternoon.
The 0-2 pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kennedy's home run was his first of the year. He came into this game really hitting Detroit pitching well over his 11-year career. .312 against the Tigers. Here's the 1-2, and it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You want to make it happen now. 2-2. You don't want to run the count to 3-2. That's how you limit the amount of pitches that you throw. Pitch to contact on this pitch and allow your defenders to work behind you.
Slap the other way, and that ball is down. It'll go into left field. Anderson runs it down, and Kennedy will have to hold with a single.
That appeared to be a breaking ball or a changeup that it looked like he tried to backdoor Kennedy with. And Kennedy was out in front. He was fooled a little bit, but he kept his hands back and got on top of it and just kind of flipped it the opposite way. On his tippy toes. That's called climbing the ladder.
And it's a 2-for-2 day now for Kennedy. 5 hits for the Athletics. Here is Jack Cust, who walked in the first inning. We're talking about Cust and all the walks that he takes to go with his power, and of course the strikeouts are part of it. But his dad played at Seton Hall, and one of the things that he would drive in Jack's mind as a young hitter was don't swing until you find a pitch that you can actually drive. Swing and a miss.
I think Adam Dunn, big strong power hitter of the Washington Nationals, has that same philosophy.
Apparently when he was playing Little League, he would frustrate all the Little League coaches because, as you know, Little Leaguers can be a little bit wild, and Cust would never swing until he got a strike. The 1-1. Hammered foul back out of play.
You're talking about Seton Hall. Rick Porcello, his younger brother, who's in high school right now and a senior, will be attending Seton Hall next year as a college freshman. He's a pitcher, as you would imagine.
Rick was going to go what, to Carolina?
North Carolina. Said he wanted to get to a little warmer weather.
1-2. As the story goes, for Jack Cust, he was a freshman on the varsity team in high school, and his first at bat for the varsity, he hit a grand slam home run. Sign of things to come, because this guy has turned into quite a power hitter. 33 homers last year.
He's always had power. Former #1 draft choice of the Arizona Diamondbacks, but he's never really had a position to play. But he's playing right field today.
'69 home runs in his career in the big leagues. 8th season. 2-2 pitch is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Zach's got that tremendous sinker ball, and in this situation, you're already trailing by 5. And what you have to try to do, and it's not the easiest thing to do, is you got to pitch a little bit more contact and get yourself some ground balls, get a couple double plays.
Runner goes. There's a ground ball, but because they started the runner, no double play there. Cust is out. Kennedy advances. Today's game, by the way, is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It is sponsored by Comcast. Gorgeous day. It was 56 at game time. A lot of sunshine, though. Here is Holiday, and he lines one to left. That's a base hit. Kennedy coming to third. They're going to stop him there as Anderson gets it back in. Wide throw of the plate.
Mike Gallego is their third base coach, and he's been watching and the Tigers' corner outfielders in the 3 games in this series. And one thing that they do, they get to the ball in a hurry. And therefore, as a third base coach, you can't run yourself into outs at home plate.
Athletics now already have 6 hits. There's Jason Giambi.
Most of the counts that Oakland has had in this game have been good hitters counts. And the batting average goes up about 100 points when the count's 1-0 versus no balls and 1 strike.
Now it's 2-0. Giambi's one of the few big left-handed sluggers that does not protect that lead elbow, the right elbow. He does have a pad in his bicep area, but he's been hit a lot in his career. In fact, he is 3rd among all active hitters. Hit by 161 pitches, and he had a rip there. Almost came out of his shoes. 2-1. Giambi has had a lot of big years in an Oakland uniform in his first go round, mostly. 5-time All-Star.
He did not want to leave Oakland, and when he signed that 7-year deal 8 years ago to go play for the New York Yankees, but obviously Oakland could not afford Giambi at the time, but he really enjoyed playing in Oakland.
The 2-2 is swung on and missed, and Giambi strikes out again. 4th time he has struck out in the series, and that is the 2nd for Minor.
And that's a breaking ball that's off the plate, and that Giambi couldn't lay off of. I guess it's kind of tough, partner, when George Steinbrenner wants you. It's kind of tough to turn him down.
Yeah, you know, and I think a lot of players love playing on that stage, or at least want to try it. There's a soft single to center. That's going to drive in another run, and Sweeney has his 2nd RBI.
I don't know what these Oakland A's ate for breakfast this morning, but whatever it was, they have come out attacking the baseball.
Apparently Wheaties was on the menu this morning.
I should have ate some of those then. Galarraga too.
Sweeney now with 10 RBIs on the season, 2 for today. And it's 6-0 Oakland. Bobby Crosby the batter. Athletics had just 4 hits in the game yesterday, 7 in the first game. They have 7 already today. We're only in the 2nd inning. Crosby had a walk and a run scored in the first. This is just his 2nd start at first base this year. Trying to pick up a couple of base runners. Holiday and Sweeney. Minor had to come on with 2 outs in the first inning. He struck out Cabrera to end that inning. That's lifted in the air to right field. Clee Thomas coming under it, and that is that for the A's, but they get another run to extend the lead. 6-0 now. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Autographs, take some pictures, and meet their heroes up close.
Some lucky fans today.
Here is Maglio Ordonez to lead it off. Jeff Larish and then Gerald Laird, and the Tigers second, down by 6. Facing Trevor Cahill. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Cahill features all 4 pitches. He's got a real good sinker, curveball, slider, and a changeup. Struggles against left-handed hitters, however, does not have a true out pitch to get left-handers out with. But he's got a 6-run lead early today.
That curveball he throws is a knuckle curve. It's only 21. That one missed. 2-2.
We're starting to see more and more guys and throw knuckle curves. Galarraga has sort of a knuckle grip when he throws a slider. So does Joel Zamaya.
Maglio sends this one high in the air toward left field. Going to stay in the field to play, though, as Holiday makes the catch.
Yesterday, that one would have had a chance. Hey, fans, be at Comerica Park this Tuesday when the Tigers take on the first-place Texas Rangers at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans receive a deck of 2009 Tigers playing cards, courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Did you ever collect cards when you were a kid?
Baseball cards, yes.
I did, too.
I sure did. But I was a dummy, though. I used to put mine in my bicycle.
Oh, you did that, too, in your spokes?
Spokes, yeah. I bet I had some good ones, too.
Probably.
Take a bobby pin and stick them in the wheels, and it sounded real cool.
Yeah, I could see a Joe DiMaggio flapping around on your bike. These are playing cards, though. We're talking about baseball cards, but these will be playing cards.
You used to go to the store, and for a nickel,
oh, yeah,
you get a nice big piece of bubble gum and about 5 baseball cards in there.
That bubble gum would be stiff as cardboard, though.
It was good, though, once you got it softened up.
There's a ball outside to Larish, 3-1.
You get nothing for a nickel these days.
Nope. That was a long time ago. That's grounded foul.
And Larish getting a rare start at third base today. Kind of explains why the last couple of days of this homestand they were out early with Larish, hitting him lots of ground balls at that position.
Well, Jim Leland said yesterday that he needs to find a way, because Larish is swinging the bat so well, that he won't get stale sitting on the bench. So he wanted to get him back in there today, and Inge, who had played every day, gets the day off.
Larish said third base is his favorite position.
Back up the middle and through, base hit. So he's still swinging it.
Since he came back from Toledo, he's been hitting the ball awfully hard.
Well, Jeff admitted he was disappointed when he was initially sent down. He understood why the Tigers were doing it. They were facing a rash of lefties. They needed some help in the bullpen, and Larish, instead of going down and just biding time at AAA, used that time to tone up the swing a little bit.
Because there's no guarantee you're going to get called back up, especially if you go down there and pout and don't perform.
Gerald Laird started to perk up last night with a 3-hit game, had a couple of doubles. 1-0 on Laird. 3 for 7 in the series. That is rolled fair at third base. Diving stop by Hanahan, and his throw is in time. What a play by Jack Hanahan down at third.
He robbed Laird. Laird had 3 hits yesterday, starting to perk up a little bit. And Hanahan robs him of a double. One step in a dive, gets to his feet in a hurry, and flips underhand. It bounces it over there, and Crosby, it does not get a lot of starts over at first base, and makes a nifty pick. He just smothered that ground ball.
So here's Santiago now with a runner at second base. Ramon getting the start at second base today. Has hit safely in 5 in a row, and his average is at 300 right now. Some very stylish sunglasses today. The 0-1 fouled straight back.
Tigers role players this year have done a nice job. For guys that don't play every day, they have done a nice job. We talked about Larish. Also Santiago, his batting average 300. Everett has done a really nice job at shortstop offensively. Nice contributions from some of your smaller guys until your big boys heat up. Rayburn, forgot about him.
1-2 on Ramon.
It's a tough league. Rayburn a grand slam on Friday. 3-run home run yesterday. About 8 RBIs in the series, and he can't get off the bench today.
Yeah, the bench this afternoon. It is a tough league, isn't it?
Well, you ask how good the combination at shortstop has been this year. Take a look. 29 RBIs. No shortstop has driven in more. Of course, we're talking about the two of them combined.
But it really has been uncanny in how Leland has picked his spots with these guys and who he starts against which club in which situation. It always seems to have worked out to where he gets a big hit from either one of those guys. It's pulled down the right field line, going to go foul.
I think he kind of looks at the numbers. Everett gets the majority of the starts against right-handers. But when there's a real tough right-hander out there, that's when he'll pluck Santiago off the bench and put him in there. And Santiago has just done some positive things. He's homered a couple times, squeezed bunts.
Of course, Ramon had that big 5 RBI game, a career high back on the 19th of April against Seattle. And he had 11 RBIs early in the season. He has 15 now. The 2-2 again. 3-2. Larish started what is hopefully a rally for the Tigers with a 1-out single, but a great play down at third base by Hanahan robbed Laird of probably a double and an RBI. The 3-2 pitch is fouled off. Full count. Tigers so far have been out hit 7-1, and there's his counterpart Everett waiting on deck. That is pulled foul. Santiago has been a guy really his entire career that in spurts can give you some pretty good offense. I don't know that the Tigers consider him an everyday player, but in his role, a good big league player. That's driven in the air to the gap in right center field. There's another hit for Santiago. It's going to go to the wall. He might get a triple out of this. Ramon rounds the bag. He's coming to third, and he's going to be in there with a 3-base hit.
Cahill had no answer for Santiago. After seeing 9 pitches, he triples on the 10th pitch, and that's usually the way that it happens. The more pitches that you see in any one at bat, advantage hitter. He climbs the ladder and gets on top of a fastball and absolutely crushes it to the right center field gap. And then it's on after that. He's thinking triple as soon as that ball hits the grass in the outfield. What an at-bat by Santiago.
His 16th RBI. He does it again, and now we'll see if Everett can knock him in. The Tigers trying to chip away here, down 6-1.
That makes that play by Hanahan that much bigger.
How about the Tigers now? 14 extra base hits in this series. They've hit 10 doubles in this series.
There's a lot of baseball to be played. And right now, their offense is feeling awfully confident when they stand in that batter's box.
That's back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Everett comes through, and it's a 6-2 game.
That graphic that we put up couldn't have come at a better time. Timing is everything.
And again, Everett comes through with a man in scoring position. Kurt Young will pay a visit. Santiago getting the congratulations from his teammates. Everett now with 16 RBIs.
Polanco's got some of those fancy glasses on today too. That Santiago sport.
Trying to be a little stylish here on Sunday.
Courtesy of Oakley.
Well, a couple of 2-out hits, one by Santiago, one by Everett, the 8 and 9 men in the lineup. And here is Granderson.
Well, we told you coming in that Cahill has an outstanding sinker ball, but really has no answer for left-handed hitters. And left-handed hitters do really nice damage against him. And there's a pretty good left-handed hitter standing in the batter's box right now.
Cahill was a second-round pick of the A's back in 2006, so he's gotten to the big leagues fairly quickly. The 2-0. Now it's 3-0 on Granderson.
Cahill did not pitch one game in AAA. Had 6 starts in AA last year for Oakland, and finds himself in the major leagues. We're starting to see that more and more often. Guys just kind of bypassing AAA after only a few games in AA and finds themselves competing on the highest stage of all.
And he lost it, ball 4. It's the second time he's walked Granderson. And that'll put runners at first and second and give Josh Anderson an opportunity.
Anderson this time around will probably take at least 1 strike. His first time up today, Granderson walked on 5 pitches, and Anderson promptly swung at the first thing that he saw. Taylor made double play ball, but Cabrera, the shortstop, couldn't get it out of his glove. Therefore, Anderson was not doubled up.
That one missed outside, 1-0.
Jim Leland, when he came back to the dugout after getting forced on that ground ball off the bat of Thomas, had some words for him. Do not know exactly what he said to him, but it may have been along those lines.
2 balls, no strikes. This is finally some stress now for Cahill. He's walked a couple in the game. He's given up a triple, a couple of singles in this inning.
You don't have to take here, though, if you get a fastball right down the middle.
2-1.
Making Cahill work out there in the second inning. 35 pitches. And he's usually a guy that has pretty good control.
You know, Tigers in this series have 12 2-out RBIs. 3-1 pitch. Driven down the right field line. That is a fair ball. It'll go all the way to the wall. This might get in 2. 1 run scores. Granderson rounding third. They'll send him home, and he will score. And to third base goes Anderson. It's a 6-4 ball game.
Make that 14 RBIs with 2 outs. That was a good at-bat there by Anderson. We talked about after Granderson walked in the first, he swung at the first thing that he saw. This time he took some pitches until he got himself in a really nice hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike. And when you're looking fastball 3-1, this is exactly what you should do with it. You should hammer it somewhere to the pull field, and he does that.
Well, we told you in the first inning, with the way the Tigers offense was going, they could claw back into this game, and they've done so very quickly with a 4-run second. And now the tying run coming to the plate, Clete Thomas. Tigers now with 4 hits on the board. Clete reaching on a fielder's choice in that first inning. And he's down in the count, 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Cahill was staked to a 6-0 lead, but the Tigers have responded. Way outside, 2-2.
Sometimes it's difficult for young pitchers to pitch with a big lead. And they just forget to use all 4 of their pitches.
Grounded toward first base. Crosby has it to end the inning, but a very productive inning for the Tigers. 4 runs in. They had a couple of big hits in this series, or this inning, including Santiago, and eventually capped off by Anderson. 6-4. Trust us, will make you happy you came in. That's a promise. AT&T, your world delivered. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Well, the Ferris wheel going here. Free rides for the kids on Sundays. And it's turned into a pretty good game now. 6-4. The Tigers chipping away at that deficit, down by just 2. And we'll see now if Zach Minor can continue to stem the tide here. Landon Powell leads it off, and he sends the first pitch in the air to center. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Jack Hanahan. Hanahan walked back in the first inning. And Minor misses outside. 1-0. Well, 14 2-out RBIs in this series now for the Tigers. And in fact, they've had at least 1 base runner in all but 1 inning in this series. So they've gone down 1, 2, 3 only once. 1 ball, 1 strike. On a day where the offense trying to pick up Armando Galarraga, who was knocked out of the game in the first inning today. Miners 1-1.
The Tigers had a chance to pick up a full game on the entire division yesterday. Everyone lost but Detroit.
The 2-1 pitch. Fouled away. Well, it's been a division that has kind of hung around 500. I mean, even the divisional leader, the Tigers, they came in at 3 over, so nobody's running away.
Somebody's going to get hot, though. And the way the Tigers are pitching, with the exception of Armando today, that's how you get hot. When you start racking up some of the numbers that their starters have been racking up.
Well, a couple of the surprise teams in the Central have to be, aside from KC, of course. On the other end is Cleveland. They're 10 under, and Chicago is 5 under. Swing and a miss. Minor has a strikeout, and it's his 3rd now. 2 gone. Good running action on that pitch to Hanahan. Here's the top of the order now, Orlando Cabrera. Cabrera batted twice in that first inning. He led the inning off with a ground out, then ended the inning with a strikeout.
There's nothing worse than making both outs in the same inning.
First and last.
Know the feeling. I've done it. Everybody else is hitting and walking, and you just can't figure it out.
Well, he's 0 for 10 in the series.
He has not done well in the leadoff spot. Apparently they don't have a true leadoff hitter. But not many teams do have a legitimate leadoff hitter.
Cabrera played in the World Series in '04 with the Boston Red Sox. The 2-1. It's lifted back out of play. Played in Chicago last year and apparently felt that maybe the organization didn't have his back on certain occasions. Cabrera would call up to the press box after calls were made that he didn't agree with. And I guess he had hoped his manager would have done it, and got into it a little bit with Ozzie Guillen. Spilled over publicly into the papers. But he has been a really good player in his career.
That's always bad when those types of things spill over into the newspaper. Usually those types of things don't get out of the clubhouse.
Yeah, that's usually the best way for the team for it to happen. Like he hurt his wrist on that last swing. 2-2 on Orlando Cabrera.
I mean, there are certain things that we hear down in the clubhouse on a daily basis, but we know what we can say and what shouldn't be said.
3-2.
That's when you got a good clubhouse.
Here's the full count pitch. Lined base hit left field. That is his first hit of the series, apparently with a bum wrist. 2-out single. Talking about the A's not having very many options at leadoff. Of course, they had maybe the best leadoff man in the game, and Ricky Henderson in his day.
No question. Maybe he was, I think. He's going to the Hall of Fame this year.
Here is Adam Kennedy. That hit was the 8th for the Athletics. Kennedy's had 2 of them, homer and a single, and he has scored twice. Minor missing outside, ball 1. Zach being counted out to chew up some innings right now, with Galarraga being bounced out of this game in the first inning. And Leland was saying that's one of the reasons we've been able to kind of protect Porcello, because they've had Verlander and Jackson go out, eat a ton of innings, which allows them to take Porcello out in the 6th inning or so in his starts. They want to be careful with his workload this year.
Well, Jim promised Dave Dombrowski in spring training, if they allowed him to bring Porcello to the big leagues, that he would protect him. And the way that you protect a youngster is just what you said. You limit the amount of innings that he throws during the course of the year. Young arms at this level are so precious, especially a guy that pitched an A-ball last year.
Yeah, fresh out of high school.
But he's good. He does not look like he pitched an A-ball last year. Jim said, not on my watch. I'm going to protect the youngster.
Can't blame him.
And I'm sure the same holds true for Ryan Perry.
That one just missed. 2-1. If you tuned in a little bit tardy today, the Tigers fell behind 6-0. Galarraga taken out of the game in the first inning, but they have fought back with a 4-run second. Anderson and Santiago with extra base hits. It was close. He was spinning his wheels a little bit down there. Cabrera has been a pretty good base stealer in his career. He's at about 80% percentage wise for his career. 184 lifetime, but this season he hasn't been very good. Been caught 3 times. He has stolen just once.
Oakland as a team with only 13 stolen bases at the start of play today, which is the fewest in the American League. But typically, they don't have teams that run a whole lot.
Runner bluffs, and Minor missed again. 3-1. Jack Cust waiting on deck. Lifted toward left, but foul. Back into row one, a souvenir. Pretty good play.
One hopper. Right off the chest protector. Blocked it like a catcher.
And he lost him. Ball 4. So Minor got the first 2 in the inning very quickly, and Cabrera has singled. Kennedy is walked, so he's on base for the 3rd time in this game. It's going to bring up Cust. Walking a ground out for Cust. Every Oakland player has reached base so far in this game.
And Jim not waiting around today. And Gene Lamont back on that bat phone. And they can't afford to let this one get away from them again after cutting the deficit to 2. Be careful with this young man. He's got serious power.
Big swing, 1-1.
It's a good pitch. Change up on a 1-0 count. You know, a big, strong, physical, a guy like Cust, not trying to hit a single. He's trying to go long ball here.
One pitch. Luke French, by the way, starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen.
Nice little breaking ball.
So he's ahead of Cust now, 1-2. He got him, strike 3 in the outside corner. That's all for Oakland. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, 6-4. Clawing back from a 6-0 deficit. They had Miguel Cabrera leading it off against Trevor Cahill, who really had trouble getting through that second inning. The Tigers sent 8 men to the plate to get back into the game. That's grounded left side, scooped up there by Hanahan. 1 out.
And when Cahill's right, he gets a lot of those. And this young man right here, the last couple of days here at Comerica Park, he has started to get right. And the one thing that in common with all these swings we're going to see, none of them going to right field. Maglio's been much more aggressive the last week or so, trying to pull the baseball, going up the middle, versus going down that right field line. And as a result of that, the ball's been making a different sound off his bat.
10 for his last 28. 7-game hit streak. And 357 in that stretch. Pulled to third. Another fair ball inside the bag. Maglio rounds first base. He'll go to second and pulled in with another double.
Maglio has really been concentrating on keeping both hands on the bat through the swing. And when you do that, and you've got some power and you've got some ability and then some hand-eye coordination, you're going to drive some balls to the pull field. That's one of the things that he's been concentrating on, and he's gotten a boatload of hits lately. It's good to see.
Well, I guess you figured sooner or later that average would start to climb, and when you get into the month of May, you start to worry a little bit, especially the middle of the month of May, but he's come around now. Larish hits one to right, base hit. Maglio coming to third. They're going to stop him there. And Jeff Larish is 2 for 2. The Tigers with the tying runs on. Santiago Casilla warming up. Here's Gerald Laird, who had probably a double taken away in a diving play by Hanahan back in the second inning. Cahill unable to hold on to a 6-0 lead. Tigers now have the tying runs on the bases, and time is called.
Well, we told you coming in that Cahill has a difficult time against left-handed hitters. And so far, a couple hits by Larish, one by Santiago, one by Anderson. Left-handers are showing up against him.
Well, Sunday, May 24th, NASCAR on Fox returns with the traditional Memorial Day weekend 600-mile race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Casey Kane is the defending champ. Sprint Cup racing action begins Sunday, May 24th at 5 p.m. in high definition on your local Fox station.
It's going to take a tremendous amount of concentration here by Laird to force Cahill into getting the ball up in the strike zone. He throws lots of ground balls, and that's the last thing you want to do here if you're Laird, is to pound one into the dirt and for a double play. And the concentration level has to go way up.
Powell framed that last one, but it was called a little low and outside. 1-0 on Laird. Gerald 3 for 8 in the series. Had the 3 hits yesterday, including a couple of doubles. He is maybe an extra base hit away from tying this one up. Popped him up, foul, but back out of play.
Good to see Gerald's bat perk up a little bit too, partner. He was going through, what was he, like 0 for 26 before getting a couple of knocks yesterday?
It was in that range. And let's see. Yep, 0 for 26. And he got a double in his first at bat last night. He just had this look of relief on his face after the game last night.
Didn't he, though?
Yeah, he was real happy to get those hits. That's going to scoot into right field and drop. Base hit. He'll take that one. Larish going to third, and he is in there standing up, and the Tigers back to within 1. Well, that's poetic justice there, because he was robbed in his first at bat.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It's a sinker ball at the top of the strike zone, but it kind of crowds Larish. Laird, excuse me, but he's able to fight it off. And he fought it off right over the head of Crosby, the first baseman. And real good base running here by Larish. He knew there was not going to be a play. He knew neither the second baseman or the right fielder could get to it before he got to third base.
So on a day where Cahill is staked to a 6-0 lead, he is not going to win this game. He's being taken out in the third, and the Tigers have the tying run at third base. Pitching change. These go to the pen. We'll be back. This one up. They had runners at first and third, only one out, and the offense doing a great job of coming back. And we're on Tiger bodies again, right?
I've never seen those before. You've seen us in Tiger bodies before?
I have seen those before, I think once last year.
I got a pair of pajamas that look like that.
Thanks for that visual.
Best value in sports with $5 tickets, $5 parking, and $5 kids and adult meals. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Standing room only today here at Comerica Park.
So are those pajamas bright orange?
Yes.
Are they?
Tiger pajamas.
Here's Santiago Casilla. He's the new pitcher now for the Athletics.
And he is fresh off the disabled list and made an appearance here a couple of days ago after coming off the DL on Friday, but his numbers are really good. Up and down, outstanding numbers for Santiago. He's in a jam here.
Here is Ramon Santiago, and he takes the ball outside.
We got Santiago versus Santiago.
The one at the plate has an RBI triple. Infield in tight at third. The 1-0 is hammered in the air deep into right field. Cuss going back, way back, and that ball is gone. It's a home run for Ramon Santiago, and the comeback is complete.
Look out, little fella.
Sneaky power. That's his third of the year.
He crushed that thing. How about this Tigers offense? They are rolling. He got a fastball right around the belt buckle, and it was 1-0. And Santiago, he looked like a power hitter.
Just over the wall.
We told our fans to stick around. Tigers offense would perk up as long as Minor put up some zeros, which he has done.
And he is halfway to the cycle today. He's gotten the two toughest ones out of the way, the home run and the triple. And that is 15 RBIs now out of the 7, 8, 9 hitters in this series. Balance in the Tigers lineup this year. That's a base hit off the glove of the first baseman Crosby. Everett going to second. By the time Crosby gets this one, Adam will pull in there safely. comeback today for Detroit. They were down 6-0 early.
Crosby's got some length over at first base. Tall frame. Climbs the ladder but can't snare it. Ball right off the glove and trickles into foul territory, and a good hustling double by Adam Everett. They can hit. It's starting to come together. They're still missing a couple of really nice pieces, but the guys that are getting a chance to play are getting the job done. And whether it be the veterans or the Kitty Cats.
Kitty Cats have been pretty good.
Kitty Cats have been really good.
Santiago with a 4 RBI day in place of Polanco today. Holly getting the day off.
This Oakland team came into Comerica Park with some really good pitching numbers. They hadn't won a lot of games because their offense really hasn't been good all year, but their pitching was good coming in. We pointed out that Casilla had a sub-100 batting average against him in his 10 appearances this year.
That's driven in the air to right field. Cust is under this one, and Everett will have to hold.
And he gets greeted with a 3-run home run and a double. This is before today. And when they came here to Comerica Park, Friday and Saturday, their earned run average was .379. And this is what the Tigers hitters have done to them in the series. .351 batting average. Oh. Their earned run average is 10 a game.
Tigers in this game alone have hit 2 triples. They've had a 3-run homer. And they have 9 hits total. Santiago making the most of his playing time. Lloyd McClendon happy again today. That's looped in the air toward left field. And Holiday will make the catch to retire the side. But another big inning for the Tigers. They take the lead with a 4-run third. They are pounding the baseball in this series. Oakland A's that are currently in the Hall of Fame. The 4 Oakland A's.
I've got 3 of them.
Do you?
I'm having a tough time with the 4th. Of course, they will have 5 once Ricky Henderson goes in this summer. I believe Ricky was the only one that got into the Hall of Fame this year, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. Well, Minor now has a 2-run lead to protect. And after coming on in the first inning, gave up a run in the second, nothing in the third, and he is facing Matt Holliday here in the 4th. Little chopper hit slowly toward third, and it hopefully will go foul. It's still riding the line. It's going to be fair.
How about that?
That's the 3rd hit of the day for Holliday.
It looked like that thing was going to roll foul, and once it got past the cut of the grass, kind of turned directions. And Lairs did the right thing. You're not going to get Halladay. And then a little right turn right there. Do you know the answer to that trivia question?
No, I got a couple of them. I don't have all four. You still working on it?
Thinking about it a little bit.
Here's Giambi. Need like a big button where you can go underneath and push it and tilt the field any way you want it on plays like that.
Be nice.
Keep Halladay off the bases.
Remember a few years back when there was a ball like that, and what was Randolph's first name?
You mean Lenny Randall?
Lenny Randall.
Yeah,
Lenny Randall blew the ball foul.
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
That is a classic highlight. The 2-0. High fly ball left field. Josh Anderson under it. Giambi is out. One gone.
Well, arguably one of the best leadoff hitters of all time, Ricky Henderson. He said as much.
Yes, he did over and over. Just ask him.
10-time All-Star, 25 years in the big leagues. And look at those numbers, man. Stolen bases, leadoff home runs, runs scored. He was a force. He was a force. Now that was a legitimate leadoff hitter.
Here is Ryan Sweeney. Two balls and no strikes. Ricky Henderson. What a player, man. He could do so many different things.
He was unbelievable. He's one of those guys that if he was on your team, you absolutely loved him. But the opposing team did not like him very much. I guess you could say he was a hot dog.
Yeah, you probably could. Ricky wasn't known for his memory, though, that's for sure. I remember Ricky played with the Angels for about half a year when I was with Anaheim. Here's a 3-0. There's a strike. We were vacationing in Hawaii, and they had this 2-tier pool at the hotel. You jumped in the top pool, and you could slide down on a slide to the bottom pool. One time I slid down. I landed in the bottom pool, and there was Ricky Henderson sitting right there. I said, Ricky, how's it going? He said, who are you? I said, I'm with the Angels. He just had no idea who I was.
Yeah, but don't feel bad, though. He was teammates with John Olerud in Toronto.
Oh, that's the greatest story.
And, of course, Olerud wore a helmet all the time. And then they were teammates also in New York later on in their careers. And Ricky went up to Olerud one day and said, I used to play with a guy that wore a helmet all the time in Toronto.
There's a stolen base. Oh, it looked like he overslid the bag, and the tag was made. Everett said I tagged him out. Well, we're going to get an argument here.
Well, Jerry Crawford didn't appear to be in a good position to see the hand come off the bag. He was in the infield, and if the hand did come off the bag, it was on the center field side of the bag. We're going to take a look at it, and he just doesn't have a good look at it. He can't see it. It's a great call, great tag. He's out, but Crawford can't see it. He's not in position to see it.
That's a shame, because Everett stayed with that play like you're supposed to.
Yes, indeed.
He's out. Athletics got away with one there.
Yeah, but Ricky was a classic, no doubt.
I used to play with a guy that wore a helmet. That was me. Well, that's driven deep. Left center field. Randy back to the warning track to make the catch. Side retired. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Tigers still on top of this one, 8-6. falling behind 6-0 in this game. And they're back for more now as Clete Thomas leads off the fourth. He'll be followed by Cabrera and then Ordonez. Clete loves to swing at that first pitch, and he waves and misses 0-1.
He doesn't get cheated either. If you are going to swing at the first pitch, those are the types of swings you need to take. Very aggressive swings.
Toward left field. Holiday. Had to come on and make a sliding catch. One out. How about that Aflac question? The Duck today wants to know if you can name the 4 Oakland A's that are currently in the Hall of Fame. How many did you end up getting? 3?
I got 3. I got a little help on the 4th one. I needed some help with Catfish Hunter.
Oh.
I had the other 3.
You got Reggie, Eckersley, and Raleigh.
Yeah.
That's good. Here's Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded foul. Each team now with 9 hits in this ball game.
You know, Jim always talks about tack-on runs. That's exactly what Detroit needs to do. That they've taken over the lead in this game. Continue to concentrate. Continue to have quality at-bats. Tack on some more runs.
Well, I think one of the things he was concerned with early this year was the inconsistency for the offense, because they would have some big innings every now and then, but then would kind of shut down. And in this series, we have seen a lot more consistency offensively. It's rolled deep in the hole. It's short. Cabrera's going to have a play, and he is out by half a step. Nicely done. 2 gone. And as you say, they've done it against the pitching staff that came in as one of the top staffs in the American League. They will leave with inflated numbers, though, once this series is over. Here's Ordonez.
Tigers' last 3 series have been funny. They swept Cleveland, swept by Minnesota, and now they have a chance today to sweep the Oakland Athletics. But more importantly, you got to protect home court advantage. You got to play well in your own ballpark. And they're off to a real nice start in this homestand.
Well, the Tigers at home this year 10-5. So for the most part, that is protecting the home field.
And something else they got to do. They got to win the division. And I'm talking about win the division. Be the best team in their division to get to the postseason wins-wise, because that's the team that gets to the postseason every year. You play each other so many times.
1 game over 500 against the Central this year for the Tigers. Strike called. Ordonez punched out of there, and 1, 2, 3 they go. On their way to the 5th. 8-6 Detroit.
Naples in the second inning. They drove in some runs there. And then that following inning, a big blast by Santiago. 3-run home run greeting Santiago Garcia.
From down 6-0 to up 8-6. Each team with 9 hits. Huge day for Ramon Santiago. Landon Powell leads it off. He'll be followed by Jack Hanahan and then Orlando Cabrera as we head to the 5th inning. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike.
And Landon Powell caught last year in AAA for Oakland's organization. Had a pretty nice year. It's always nice to have that left-handed swinging backup catcher too.
Powell, first-round pick in 2004. He went to South Carolina. 3 straight College World Series appearances in South Carolina.
That had to be fun.
And to get that opportunity 3 straight years. He did suffer an injury in 2005. He missed all of 2005 with a torn ACL. Two and two. Swing and a miss, and Minor strikes him out. That's his 6th strikeout. 1 gone. Well, fans, don't forget to place a small deposit on a 2009-2010 Red Wings season ticket plan. Guarantee your seats for games against the Blackhawks in the Western Conference Final. If you'd like more details, visit DetroitRedWings.com. Good luck to the Wings in their next round. That's skied in the air to center field. Hanahan hits it right at Curtis Granderson. 2 gone.
Tigers have some nice depth in their pitching staff this year. And not every team, after your starter gets knocked out in the first inning, you've got a middle reliever that can come in and do what Zach has done. And you talked about the fact that he has 6 strikeouts too.
Often overlooked when you give your team a chance to crawl back in the game. Minor did give up a run in the second, but nothing after that.
I am sure, because Jim Leland thinks that way. If the Tigers hold on and win this game, I'm sure the offense will be talked about, but he will be talking about the job that Minor has done thus far if he continues to do what he's doing.
Well, Zach has that ability to start. He has been a swing man for the Tigers, and we've talked about his wanting to be a starter. But boy, what an asset he can be out of the pen, especially in these types of situations.
Well, it's one of the reasons why Jim likes him in the bullpen. Come in and get you a ground ball with a runner on first to get you out of a jam. And he's pounding the strike zone today. Against Minnesota a couple of days ago, Zach was not pounding the strike zone.
Oh, that's driven deep. This one has a chance to go, and it does. It's a home run.
Well, every now and then when you pound the strike zone, you'll give up some of those. Solo shots don't hurt, though.
That is the first hit that Cabrera has had in the series. A check at his second hit. He had a single back in the 3rd, but he was 0 for 10 before singling and now homering. So it's a 1-run lead for the Tigers, 8-7. Here's Adam Kennedy. Big day for Kennedy. Been on base 3 times. Walked, single, home run. He has scored twice. 1-1. Boy, the White Sox are losing again today. 6-2, Toronto in the lead in that game.
Toronto is off to a really nice start. They got a really good team under Cito Gaston.
Can they win that division?
I think so.
Do you?
They got good offense. And if they get their pitching straightened out, they got a chance.
They've had a couple of their starters hurt.
They have not missed a beat, though.
That's served into left. And Kennedy's big day continues, his third hit.
I think everybody believes that Boston is the class of that division, even though the Yankees spend the most money. And Boston's probably got the best well-rounded team, but Toronto, if they allow them to stay in it a long time, they'll start to believe.
Here's Luke French warming up. Made his big league debut the other night. Ball one on Jack Cust, who is 0 for 2 with a walk.
French looked pretty good doing it, too. He said once he got the call and he was told he was coming to the big leagues, of course, he called his parents. He said his parents drove overnight from Colorado to Minnesota to be there for his debut. He didn't make it in Minnesota. And then they drove over to Detroit to watch the following day.
If memory serves, he was warming up in the bullpen in Minnesota.
He did.
Didn't make it in, though. 1-1 on Cust.
In many ways, that's a dream come true for parents, too. I mean, you kind of shuffle your kids to Little League and Pony League and through high school and college, and then you watch them play professional baseball, and then when they finally get that call to the big leagues, as parents, you want to experience that, too.
Not too many have that opportunity.
Such a special day.
3-1 on Cust.
Well, be careful here. Zach was cruising.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Everett gobbles it up. That'll take care of the side. They get a run to get a little bit closer on the homer by Cabrera. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Tigers have taken the first 2 games, down 6-0 today. They now lead 8-7. Jeff Larish, who's had a nice day with a couple of singles, couple of runs scored, leading it off. Larish, Laird, and Santiago. It's been this part of the lineup that has just been absolutely dynamite today. The 1-0. Tigers have 9 hits. They've been out hit 11-9, but lead by a run. A couple of 4-run frames for Detroit, erasing a 6-0 deficit. Tigers, even if they do go on to win this game, Rod, have to be somewhat concerned now with Armando Galarraga, who in his last, 4 starts now, has given up quite a few runs.
Yeah, he's scuffled.
Got him looking, and Larish is out of there.
Hey fans, now you can follow Fox Sports Detroit on Twitter and become our fan on Facebook. It's easy and it's free. Best of all, simply search Fox Sports Detroit on either site and become part of our growing social network community. That's Fox Sports Detroit, available on Twitter and Facebook. They had us on Twitter the other day.
With the pineapples?
Yeah, us taking those pictures with a couple of pineapples and some candy and some coffee. That Christy Sardina was so kind to send us all the way from Hawaii. How about that?
That was awesome. And you were telling me that Gerald Laird has a nickname, right?
He sure does. We were trying to figure out if anybody else had a nickname so we could see if their wives might want to send us a gift too.
Some more free stuff?
Yeah. And his nickname is G Money.
Perfect. You know what that means?
G Money.
Maybe Gerald's wife will send us some money.
I was telling Gerald that story the other day, and he said, that's perfect. He said, you got to say that.
Preferably in large bills.
Go, G.
Boom. Laird is out by a step. Man, he almost had himself another hit. The G Money is out, too, gone. And that's going to bring up Santiago. G Money.
That's perfect.
I love that nickname.
Perfect. Sooner or later, we'll figure out everybody's nickname down there.
You get all kinds of free stuff. Well, here's Santiago, triple and a homer, 4 RBIs. Halfway to the cycle. Gerald's wife's name is Kelly, by the way. So, Kelly, if you're watching, you can make the checks out to Mario and Rod. We'll happily accept them. 2-0 on Santiago. Well, with the 4 RBIs, Santiago now has driven in 19 this year. That's hammered foul back out of play, 2-1. Ramon last year drove in a total of 18, so he's already surpassed his RBI total from all of last year. That came in 58 games. Two and two on Ramon Santiago. Ooh, backed him out of there, but it almost caught the inside corner. 3-2. Casilla came on after Cahill was unable to hold on to that 6-0 lead. Tigers had got it to within 6-5. Then Casilla came in and Santiago homered against him. There's a line drive, base hit into right field, and now 3/4 of the way for Santiago to that cycle. A home run, a triple, and a single.
He should have stretched that one. Santiago is just on a mission today. He is taking 3 perfect swings. Perfect positioning with the body.
It's the Tigers' 10th hit. And we'll get him eating on the mound.
Let's take one more look at this swing by Santiago. And when you talk about a perfect swing, what you want to happen here is you want to have and be able to draw an imaginary line right down the center of the body once the swing is complete. Now take a look at the step and the weight transfer. Once he swings the bat, direct line right down the center of his body. Right there. Perfect. Head down. It doesn't get much better than that. Tremendous body position.
And Santiago has given the Tigers their 10th hit, single, triple, and a homer, so a double away from the cycle.
He wouldn't hit for the cycle, would he?
Sure. I think he would. Find that little seam out there in right field in his next at bat. Pick up a 2-base hit. It's been a nice game for Everett as well. RBI single and a double and a run scored out of that number 9 position. The top 5 hitters in the Tigers lineup just 2 for 13, but the bottom 4, they have 8 hits. 8 for 11. Balance and depth. Russ Springer tuning up in the Oakland pen. Ground ball, fair ball over the bag at third base. Santiago motoring toward third, and they're going to hold him there. Everett has another hit, his third of the game. That's his second double.
How about Santiago and Everett?
They're unbelievable.
That is a lot of balls in this series that have gone directly down that third base line. The Oakland Athletics third baseman must play well off the line, because we've seen a lot of balls down in that direction. Gene Lamont held him up before he got to third base. The ball was bobbled momentarily down there in the corner by Holiday, but it was too late to restart Santiago again.
So Garcia is going to be taken out of this game as they go back to the bullpen. Tigers threatening again here in the 5th. We'll be right back.
I feel so far. I mean, you know, getting us both in there and getting us both good at bats and quality at bats, it's just been a lot of fun. We now that we both know about it, you know, Ramon is he's really excited about it. So we're just gonna see how long it goes and keep it going.
That's a good thing, because it's nice to have competition within yourself, and he talked about Leland using them perfectly. I also think, Mario, that by Santiago getting off to such a good start this year, has kind of really allowed Adam to kind of just settle in, because, you know, everyone knew that shortstop position was one of the focuses coming into this season, how they wanted to shore it up. And he got off to a little bit of a slow start. But Santiago got in there. He got some nice reps. He was doing the job, and that allowed Everett, in my opinion, to relax a little bit too.
I agree. That's a good point. You know, the focus wasn't on him day in and day out, and him playing every day. When you've got another guy that can carry the load a little bit, that helps.
Less pressure.
Russ Springer is on now. The Tigers trying to add to their lead. They have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
The well-traveled Russ Springer is off to a really good start in Oakland.
Granderson takes strike 1. Curtis has walked twice in this game and scored a run. 11 hits now for both sides. Swinging a drive way back into right field, and that ball is gone. A home run. Curtis Granderson with a deep shot to right.
Off the Bell Tire logo.
Number 10 for Grandy. He killed that thing.
I think he put a hole in that tire out there.
Bell Tire gets some extra play. That thing was a no-doubter.
I was just asking for the numbers on what Springer has done against left-handed batters, because he brought him in to face a left-hander, a dangerous left-hander, and Curtis absolutely crushed that thing. And lefties really had been doing a very good job against Springer this year against left-handers.
11-7 ball game, 12th hit of the game for the Tigers, and Granderson has gone deep for the 10th time, and there are your splits.
409 against lefties, and he brought him in to face one and another one. But then again, I don't know his situation down there as far as the pitching is concerned.
True.
Maybe that's all he's got.
Well, Granderson has given the Tigers some breathing room now. It's another big inning for Detroit. They've had a 4-run inning, a 4-run inning, and now a 3-run frame.
Another 2-out knock, too.
Yes, that is true.
They have driven in a lot of runs in this series with 2 outs.
It's 20 extra base hits now for the Tigers in this series. They are just putting on a show. That's driven to right field. And that is that. But the Tigers add some more in the home run by Curtis Granderson. A 3-run shot. And Jeep Superstores, and by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, where before the game today, fans had a chance to take their pictures with their favorite Tigers. Photo day here at the ballpark, and many fans took advantage of that. And they've also taken advantage of a good Tiger comeback today. They lead 11-7 now after trailing 6-0. What a wild one this has been.
That's a great thing they do here yearly at Comerica Park, and let the fans get up close and personal to the players.
It's a rare opportunity. Luke French is the new pitcher now. He takes over here in the 6th. Minor gave up a couple of runs in his work today and gave the Tigers offense a chance to get back into this.
French was pitching some good baseball down in Toledo before getting called up. He had a 2-2 record. Earned run average was pretty good. And usually when Jim Leland wants somebody from the minor leagues, it really doesn't matter if it's a prospect or whatever. I mean, he wants the best guy at the time. And French was that guy.
Holiday, Giambi, and Sweeney here in the 6th. Fouled away. Well, we have a chance here. Want to send out a A shout out to Margaret Spencer, who Rod turned 100 years old this past March.
How about that?
Margaret from Warren, Michigan, has been a Tiger fan her entire life. Says she watches us every night. So happy birthday, Margaret. 100. Three and two. Full count pitch on the way is a ball inside. He lost him, so leadoff walk. Holiday reaching for the 4th time this afternoon. French gives up the base on balls.
Nice job by Zach Minor. It really was. Holding down the fort until the offense perked up.
4 1/3. Two runs, both earned from Zach, and he struck out 6. The 1-0 to Giambi. There's a strike on the outer edge. Lucas French goes by Luke, 6'4", 220, out of Heritage High School in Colorado. Lives in Littleton. That's rolled foul. Tigers pitching has really done a good job on Giambi in this series. They have struck him out 4 times. He's 1 for 9. Now the 1-2. Good block by Laird. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and two. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, throw it right down the middle. See how far he can hit it. Don't walk him.
Full count pitch. And he lost him. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Now he's walked 2 to start the inning. With nobody out. Here comes Leland charging out to the mound. Well, don't forget to visit the online shop of the Detroit Tigers at tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the tigers.com shop. A message delivered by the skipper. Nice crowd here today enjoying Tigers baseball. It's been a wild one. Tigers fell behind 6-0. They now lead 11-7.
Tigers have scored a boatload of runs in the 3 days here at Comerica Park. Whoa, 34 of them.
And counting. There's ball 1 to Ryan Sweeney. 27,535 your attendance today.
Good crowd.
Strike call, 1-1. Tigers need some work here from French. They got Minor to go from the 2nd through the 5th. Went 4 1/3 to be exact. There's a line drive caught at 3rd by Larish. Thought about going for the double play, but nobody there. 1 out.
It's a good job by the base runners, Holiday and Giambi. Nobody out, 1 out, line drive in the infield. As a base runner, you have to get back. If you take 1 step toward the other base, you'll get doubled up. Both guys on the base paths did a really good job there. I know when I was coming up in Little League, everybody was always talking about freeze on a line drive.
That's what they always said.
No, don't freeze. Get back.
Freezing just takes you out of the opportunity to get back, doesn't
You
it?
got that right.
0-1 on Bobby Crosby. 0-2. Crosby is 0 for 2. He walked and scored back in the first. The 0-2 pitch is a little bit high. We understand that Clayton Kershaw of the Los Angeles Dodgers has a no-hitter through 6. Marlins coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th.
Dodgers team continues to play good baseball under Joe Torre, even without Manny Ramirez. That Florida team, they started out the year 11-1.
Jekyll and Hyde.
11-1. And they come into play today with an 18-19 record.
Ryan Perry tuning up. The 2-2. We have had 23 hits between the two clubs this afternoon, 12 of those for the Tigers. So when you start to total them up now, the Tigers had 13 the first game, 14 last night, and 12 with a ton of baseball to be played today.
Tigers have a day off tomorrow. Oakland does not. Although their pitching staff could probably use a day off tomorrow, they've got to go down to Tampa to start a 4-game series in the Tropicana Dome, where it's tough to pitch, tough to play.
Yeah, they could use an off day. Schedule, though, in Major League Baseball is unforgiving at times. Swing and a miss. Crosby goes down, and French has a strikeout, 2 away.
I don't know what Jim said to the youngster out there, but whatever he said, he's kind of settled him in. And Jim has the uncanny ability to do that with a lot of the younger players. And when the game starts to speed up on them a little bit, and he goes out there and has a couple of nice words of encouragement. At least I think they're words of encouragement.
I would assume they are.
And they settle in.
They may be strong words of encouragement. Strike called on Landon Powell.
Switch hitter. Big boy, too. He's got a catcher's body on him. Big legs, big frame.
The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Landon Powell. He had a big 3-run double in that 5-run first inning. Here's the 0-2 from French. Swing and a miss. Powell goes down, and he struck out the last 2 batters. They strand a pair, but how about Luke French coming back to whiff Powell?
It's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam, and then we're going to take you all the way back to the second batter of the game for the Athletics. It's Adam Kennedy. He got a fastball right down the middle and didn't miss it with that classic uppercut swing for a solo shot to get Oakland on the board first in this ball game. Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you always by Coors Light.
The Tigers, UP in the house today.
Hello.
They love their Tigers up in the UP as well. Bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a new pitcher on now. It is Brad Ziegler. He'll face Clete Thomas. And he delivers a strike 0-1. Three pitchers used out of the pen now for the Athletics. The game was started by Trevor Cahill, who was staked to a 6-0 lead as you look at the numbers on Ziegler. Thomas tips one into the glove. He's 0 for 3 today. 12 Tigers hits. Ziegler sinks one low and away. Began his career with a 39-inning scoreless streak last season for the Athletics. And finished with a 1.06 ERA, 1.06. And this guy certainly gives you a different look. A look that you don't see very often.
Pretty much sinker, slider, changeup. All from down under.
Cabrera charging. Clete is out of there, one gone. He's 0 for 4. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Miguel is 0 for 3 today. 3 and 4 hitters have been quiet on a day in which the Tigers have 12 hits and 11 runs. There's another ground ball to short. Bobbled by Cabrera. Still has time if he hurries. Not going to get him. It has not been a crisp series for Orlando Cabrera.
And as I told you earlier, the last 3 years, no shortstop has had a better fielding percentage in the American League than Cabrera. But for whatever reason, it just has not gotten her done in the 3 days here at Comerica Park.
E6. Maglio shoots a ground ball to second base. There's one. Cabrera almost flew off the bag. That was not a very good feed by Kennedy.
Bob Guerin cannot be happy with the way his club has played defensively in this series.
Well, 6 errors in this series. And a few plays like the one you just saw that technically aren't errors, but cost them an opportunity for a double play. That'll bring Larish up to the plate. Oakland now with 27 errors this year. And only Seattle has committed more, 31. That was entering play today. So the defense has not been sharp. There's a 2-0 to Larish, and it's outside. 3-0. Jeff, a couple of hits today, both singles, 2 runs scored. And there's a walk and another time on base for Larish.
Well, we talked about the fact that they have not made a lot of plays in this series. They made 4 errors on Friday night. All 4 of their infielders made an error. Crosby, Cabrera, Kennedy, and Giambi. An error by the pitcher in last night's game, Braden, and then the one today.
Gerald Laird looks at a strike.
tough to win big league games when you're making that many miscues and you're going up against a hot offense. And the way the Tigers have been swinging the bats the last 3 days here. They have capitalized on every single mistake that's been made.
Well, Laird has a single and 3 at bats, and the bottom of the order, what a job they've done today. 6 through 9.
Bottoms up.
Especially Santiago and Everett. The 8 and 9 spots. One ball, 2 strikes. Little bounce inside. 2-2 now on Laird. Gerald knocked in a run with a single in the 3rd. Right at the knees for strike 3. Laird doesn't like it. A little silent protest for home plate umpire Todd Titchener. Still 11-7 Detroit. Day of baseball here at the ballpark. How's our player of the game voting going? Well, to no one's surprise, Santiago at 61%.
But Brandon Inge is now in the game.
His votes are shooting up. Inge has taken over defensively at third base for Jeff Larish.
So not a total day off for Brandon Inge.
But with a 4-run lead here as we go to the late innings, the Tigers want to bring their third baseman in, the regular third baseman in. And back to work we go as Jack Hanahan leads it off in the 7th. It'll be Hanahan, Cabrera, and Kennedy for the Athletics. Fouled straight back. Luke French is out there for his 2nd inning of work.
If you're just joining us, I was telling the story when we took a shot of French when he was warming up in the Tigers bullpen. When he got the call from Larry Parrish telling him he was coming to the major leagues, he called his parents. They drove overnight from Colorado to Minnesota to watch the next day's game.
That's in the air to center, and Granderson for the out.
He did not make his debut in Minnesota, so they promptly drove to the Motor City the following day, and they did get a chance to watch him make his major league debut here at Comerica Park.
And those are miles that they would happily put on their car.
That's a long way too, isn't it?
It's not a short drive, that's for sure.
Drove overnight.
One away. And a ball outside to Orlando Cabrera. You would do the same. I would do the same. Most
we would do anything for our kids. And those of us that have kids, we all know that. And you know what? The kids know that too.
But you're right about the early years, especially moms shuffling the kids around, all the games,
yes,
all
indeed.
the travel. 3-0 on Cabrera. Orlando hit a home run in his last at bat back in the 5th inning. That was off Zach Miner. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Here's a 4-pitch walk. That's the 3rd walk now given up by French. Ryan Perry is up again in the Tigers bullpen. French was an 8th round pick of the Tigers in the 04 draft. 29 strikeouts in 34 innings this year down at AAA Toledo. There's a ball outside, 1-0 on Kennedy, who's had a big day. He's been on base 4 times. In fact, he started their scoring with a 1st inning home run. Kennedy finds himself in an athletics uniform these days. Hit .280 for the Cardinals last year. High towering fly ball hit almost straight up in the air. Shallow right field. Cleat Thomas coming in. 2 gone. That'll bring up Jack Cust. Tigers have those red hot Texas Rangers coming to town on Tuesday night.
It's going to be interesting to see that Texas club, because they always boast a very talented offense. But this year, under their new pitching coach, Mike Maddox, they're pitching good baseball, which is the reason why they're in first place. They go hand in hand.
They apparently have a new edict there in Texas with Nolan Ryan at the helm. No pitch counts. You guys need to go later in the games.
I'm happy for Ron Washington, who is the manager of that ball club. Seems like every year he's on the hot seat. But he's one of my favorite guys in the entire game. Wish him nothing but success.
The 2-0. Check to swing, rolls it toward third. Ainge will charge on this one. Nice play. They got Cust by half a step to retire the side. So we'll go to the stretch. Looking for the cycle for Santiago when we come back. It's 11-7 Detroit. The bullpen had to come in relief of Galarraga early in this game.
Well, Zach Miner did a very nice job. Galarraga did not make it out of the first inning, but Miner went in there and kind of settled down. He also calmed the offense down of the Oakland Athletics, which allowed his ball club to score some runs. And then French comes in and does a pretty nice job. He struggled early when he went out there. Jim Leland had a little bit of a conversation with him. He kind of settled in nicely after that.
And the offense took over after that. And here's our Comerica game summary. Santiago 3 for 3 going for the cycle in this inning. Tigers offense 20, count them, 20 extra base hits in the series. Adam Everett, great day as well, 3 for 3. Santiago, boy, he's been on today, hasn't he?
Well, he really has. The first at bat he had today was a 10-pitch at bat against the starter Cahill, and he ended up tripling. Then he comes up and plays long ball, and then he gets a single. 3 perfect swings from the left side today by Santiago. Oh, that ball coming off his bat like a big boy today.
It sure is. Triple in his first at bat, homer in his second bat, single in his third at bat, and now a double away from the cycle. Carlos Guillen had that last Tigers cycle against the Rays in 06 earlier this year when Clee Thomas came up. He very nearly hit for the cycle in his first game back. It'll be Santiago, Everett, and Granderson here in the bottom of the 7th. 11-7 Detroit as they go for the sweep on a glorious day here in the Motor City. Picture perfect day. Ziegler back out to the hill. Santiago looks at a strike.
How about a little bloop double right over the third baseman's head?
I'll take it. That is back up the middle into center field. Santiago has another hit. It's going to be a single. No cycle, but a 4-hit day for Santiago. 2 singles, a triple, and a homer. What a day. The 4 hits, a career high for Ramon.
He is performing against the Athletics the way that Polanco would if he was in there.
That's true because Polanco was nearly 400 against the A's career.
Yeah.
Probably enjoying the day off.
He sure is. It's nice to get a day off and watch your club still perform and have a chance to win.
Everett trying to bunt, lays one down. They'll get the job done.
And some of you may be wondering why Jim would sacrifice in the 7th inning with a 4-run lead, but most managers try to get that 5-run lead. You want to get out of grand slam distance if you can. You don't want one swing of the bat to have the ability to tie the game for the other team late. That's why the sacrifice bunt there, trying to score Santiago, which would give them a 5-run lead here late. Stay out of grand slam distance.
4th sacrifice for Everett. They're going to walk Granderson with first base open. Fans don't like it. Anderson due next. There's ball 3. Been a tough series for Bob Guerin and his staff. He thought today, with the way they were swinging the bats coming out, the A's had posted a 6-0 lead, that maybe they might get a win, but the Tigers came roaring back.
The first intentional base on balls this year to Granderson. And the reason for that is Polanco's always hitting behind him. And Polanco's an outstanding hitter with runners in scoring position. Whether it be a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, it really doesn't matter. That's why they don't walk Granderson intentionally.
Tigers have been really good all season with runners in scoring position, but today 7 for 11. Josh Anderson had a 2-run triple back in the 2nd. He's 1 for 4. 9 RBIs for Anderson. Tigers now had 13 hits today. Two and one. More action in the bullpen. Kevin Cameron has pitched in the series. He's warming up again. Little chopper hit slowly towards second. They'll flip to second one, and Cabrera throws behind the runner, and they're going to get Santiago.
Good heads up play by Cabrera. Not good base running by Santiago.
Rounded the bag and couldn't get back, and that's all for the Tigers. We will head to the eighth. In favor of the Tigers, and they will take that lead into the eighth inning in front of better than 27,000 folks here today, and they will have a new pitcher on the mound. Ryan Perry takes over.
He's getting better. Now, you do see the 13 walks there in the 15 and third innings he's pitched this year, but those are just growing pains. A young man that only 1 year of pro ball. Take a look at these numbers.
Whoa.
Right-handers have no chance. No chancey today against the right-handers.
That 091, by the way, computes out to 3 for 33. Right-handed batters are against him.
Tigers have some right-handed pitchers on their roster that just really do a nice job against right-handed batters. They overpower them, really. I mean, Verlander, Jackson, even Galarraga, even though he struggled a little bit the last 4 starts, his numbers are still real good against right-handers. Porcello as well. Zumaya. Galarraga will get it back together. I know it's got to be tough for him because he got off to such a great start this year after having a really good year last year as a rookie in the big leagues. But baseball's a tough game. Not an easy game. Galarraga finding that out the last few times he's gone out there.
Two and two on Matt Holliday.
Holliday is swinging the bat a whole lot better today than he has the first couple of games in this series. He looks like he's getting close to busting out, performing like the Holliday that they knew they were getting when they made that deal with Colorado.
Ball high. Well, you figured sooner or later he was going to have to find his swing. I mean, this is a guy that's been a 3-time All-Star. He's won Silver Slugger awards.
Comes from a baseball family, too. His dad coaches, brother coaches. uncles.
And another hit for Holiday. That is his 4th hit of the game, all singles.
He's getting close. He had some real good swings against Perry. And we told you that Perry is just absolutely dominant against right-handed batters. Why is it every time we put up something like that, the right-hander seems to get a hit?
It's a jinx.
We jinx it?
Yeah, it's a basic jinx. That's the way it goes. That is the 13th career 4-hit game for that guy. 13 of them.
He was probably one of the best players in the National League before coming over the last 5 years.
Jason Giambi, the batter. Tigers lead by 4. We're in the 8th. Beach ball loose in the corner. Who's going to get it? Ball boy is. Here's the culprit.
It's a nice enough day today for a beach ball.
Boy, it sure is. It's shot down the left field line. Going to go foul. One ball, one strike. 13 Tigers hits and 12 for the Athletics. Kershaw lost his no-hitter, by the way.
In the 7th?
In the 8th.
Wow.
Cody Ross.
Former Tiger.
Yep. He broke it up. 2-base hit. They took him out of the game. After that.
You didn't talk about it, did you?
Well, we did last inning. So the jinx actually lasted a full inning. Now, why'd you bring that
up?
No, just. Here comes Leland.
Well, who was throwing that no-hitter against us recently?
Burley.
Yeah.
In Chicago on the last road trip.
Yeah.
We did our best to mess that one up.
We sure did. We got him. I got him on that one.
Yeah, you predicted Polanco was going to get the hit.
I sure did. Hey, fans, join us tomorrow. Excuse me. Join us Tuesday. And when the Texas Rangers come to town for a start of a 3-game series. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live. As Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire Tuesday night on Fox Sports Detroit and in high def on Fox Sports Detroit HD.
There's a strike called on Giambi. 2-2. Anxious to see what that Texas team looks like. I mean, they are really rolling right now. They can really hit, and Tigers have 2 of their big horses going in that series, and Verlander and Jackson. Fouled back out of play.
If those 2 are on top of their games, there will not be a lot of offense for Texas. They're good, no doubt. But when those 2 are on top of their games, they're not giving up a lot of runs. Dontrell also pitching in that series against Texas.
Giambi in this one with a walk and a single. And he's 1 for 3. And the Rockies are going to be coming to town later on in the week as we kick off interleague play for 2009. Missed it. Ball 3. Ryan Sweeney lurking on deck. Ground ball hit slowly to the right side. Everett flips to Inge 1. Look at that turn by the Tigers' third baseman. Nicely done.
Inge played shortstop in college, and he turned that like he had a flashback of his college days. Nice little flip here by Everett as well. Of course, they've got the shift on Giambi. 3 infielders on the right side. Everett grabs it. The shortstop flips to Inge. Look at Inge come across that bag aggressively to turn 2. Pitcher's best friend.
6-5-3 version. Here's a ground ball to second. More conventional defensive alignment. Santiago throws him out just like that, aiming over. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. 11-7 Detroit. The test of time since 1849. Great day to have your face painted here at the ballpark. Gorgeous day for baseball. Tigers are leading at 11-7 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Some more face painters.
Everybody's all dolled up today.
Here is Drew Bailey. He will take over now for the Athletics.
He's got nice numbers. A 1.61 earned run average. And look at the opponent's batting average down at the bottom. 0.96.
Yikes.
That's a bingo number.
It is. You're off the interstate there, aren't you?
Trying to get on the interstate.
1-0 on Clee Thomas.
He's got some legitimate setup man kind of stuff, though, does Bailey. He got a firm fastball anywhere from 90 to 95 miles an hour and got a true slider. He's got real good setup man type stuff. And the numbers back it up. .26 strikeouts. Most Ks by an American League reliever. Stuff is nice.
They say that he actually is emerging as a closer here, and certainly gives you a much different look than Ziegler, who had been in that position last year. He was a starter last season in Double-A and then kind of took off when he went to the bullpen. And there's a walk. But if you're going to be a closer, the last thing you can do is walk the leadoff man. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. On a day in which the Tigers have 11 runs on 13 hits, Cabrera is 0 for 4. Go figure. See if he can change that in this at bat. Bottom of the lineup carrying the Tigers today.
As we like to say on occasion, we'll give big fella a mulligan.
That's going to be popped to Kennedy, and one gone.
Because usually he just getting her done.
Here comes Ordonez. Maglio 1 for 4, had a double and a run scored in the third. Swing and a miss, 1-1. If the Tigers hold on and win this game, they would move to 4 games over the 500 mark.
This may be, and I'm just talking off the top of my head, this may be, if they hold on, one of their more impressive wins of the year.
I would agree. Falling behind 6-0. They got very good work out of the bullpen.
Usually when the opposing team tacks a 5 spot on you in the first inning, you don't win those games.
And it actually got up to 6-0 before the Tigers scored 4 in the bottom of the second. So Maglio gets a walk. A pair of walks in this inning now for Bailey.
Well, for the better part of a week now, Lloyd McClendon's been able to get some sleep. He's the hitting coach, of course. And when your offense is putting up these kind of numbers, all the hard work that you put in, it makes it all worth it. 35 extra base hits, 373 on base percentage, lots of 2-out base hits, very few guys giving away at bats, grinding them out, as Jim Leland likes to say.
Hinge getting his first at bat.
It's such a grueling schedule. I mean, you're trying to play 162 games in 180 days. although the travel is not all that stressful. It's a lot to ask your body to do, but these guys do it well.
0-2 on Brandon. I think obviously the toughest part is getting into August and September. That's when I think the travel really starts to catch up with you. Your body has been pounded for about 5 months or so with all the baseball, all the travel.
The quick turnarounds after very difficult losses.
Wave and a miss, and Brandon goes down swinging, 2 outs.
That's that true slider that I was talking about that Bailey features. Well, here's another 2-out RBI situation. 17 runs in this series with 2 outs. That's amazing.
That's clutch. That is really clutch.
That is amazing.
Gerald Laird had an RBI single in the 3rd. Tigers, by the way, came into this game just 2-9 when the opponent scored first.
No. G Money.
I'm sorry, G Money. I forgot already. 0-2 on G Money. This is going to get out of hand, I have a feeling. All these nicknames.
We won't let it.
It's going to get out of hand.
Nor will we be allowed to let it get out of hand.
We got to move on to the next guy now. Find the next nickname. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And down goes Laird to retire the side. So Bailey comes back, strikes out a couple. Hang on, we're going to the 9th. Up 11-7. Athletics as we go to the 9th. At Comerica Park, it is 11-7 in favor of Detroit, and they are 3 outs away from a sweep of the Oakland Athletics. Fernando Rodney is in now for the 15th time this year.
Rodney's been throwing a lot of strikes this year, and as a result, the numbers are pretty good. 11 strikeouts against 4 walks. The league hitting .249 against the Tigers closer. He's been perfect as a closer. 6 for 6.
So Rodney will face Crosby, Landon Powell, and then Jack Hanahan as we head to the 9th inning. 25 hits between these two clubs here this afternoon. And Rodney delivers low, 1-0. Tip of the cap to the bullpen today.
Every now and then you need that kind of work out of your bullpen.
Bounced foul behind home plate. Crosby today is 0 for 3, has a walk and a run scored. The 1-1. Tigers have had a couple of big innings today. They had a 4-run second, 4-run third. It was the Granderson homer, though, back in the 5th that gave them some breathing room. That's into center field. Granderson on the run.
Not a whole lot in center field that CJ doesn't run down. Hey fans, there's nothing better than the Tigers baseball and hot dogs for all home games in May. The Tigers All-American deal. They get you an upper box ticket, hot dog, soft drink for only $22. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Landon Powell facing Rodney. Powell had a big 3-run double early to stake the Athletics to a 5-0 lead. Strike called, 1-1. Jim Leyland can use Rodney today. He knows he has the off day tomorrow and that big Texas series coming up.
Seems like the more Rodney works, the better he is, though.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Seems like he's got one of those arms that he can go 3 days in a row and still be somewhat effective.
Chopper to the shortstop. Everett scooping on the run. 2 gone.
Well, if you weren't with us earlier, we told you that every team in the Central lost yesterday with the exception of the Tigers. And it could be another one of those days, Mario.
Boy, that'd be nice.
Chicago has already lost. Cleveland scuffling in Tampa. Kansas City losing. And Minnesota, they cannot win in New York.
The Yankees have the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Travis Buck pinch hitting. Their final chance, and there is strike 1.
Travis Buck and Jeff Larish were teammates at Arizona State.
And that is lined to the second baseman, and the Tigers complete the sweep in comeback fashion today. They were down 6-0 early in this one. The bullpen held it, and boy, oh boy, the offense just continues to roll.
In my opinion, the most impressive win of the season for the Tigers. Had every reason to roll over.